Good morning, Trevor, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this call this morning. This is a really interesting call. I think, um, Trev, we could have titled this session Work Like a Network. Guys, today we're going to be discussing a couple of things, but primarily we're going to be talking about some new tools that are going to decrease the amount of email you have to send. I find a lot of people these days are in what I term email jail, where they just, yeah, I've got 300 unread emails, I've got 500 unread emails, and every day it's just like a tsunami. The emails just keep coming and coming. So today we're really going to look at Yammer, which is an enterprise social network, and we're going to look at it as an alternative to sending emails. So we're going to look at some tips and tricks in Yammer. Now, most of the people on the call have Yammer already. Some of you may not have it, but it is free to start out. It also comes with your enterprise SKUs in Office 365. So guys, if you're anything like me, you didn't start in your teenage years on Facebook. Facebook wasn't around during my teenage years. Trevor, any Facebook for you when you were?
Literally, Facebook for me has been 12 months of just getting onto Facebook. I had young kids, so I was anti-Facebook, I think, for quite some time. Those of you who've, I've got now I'm just addicted to it. It's the first thing I look at, in the morning. So
Well,
I am a convert.
you're a convert. I'm a bit like that with LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I got a nice network of people who post stuff that I find really interesting. And guys, I'm talking about LinkedIn, I'm talking about Facebook, because when we make the shift to using Yammer, that's what I want you to be thinking about. How would I do this in Facebook? How would I do this within LinkedIn? So there's a couple of things we're going to do today. If you're on your machine, and you can just type in yammer.com. If you haven't logged on before, I would encourage you in a browser window that's up and running just to type in yammer.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and log you into Yammer and then show you a couple of tips and tricks in the Yammer environment. After that, Trev, you're going to be talking a bit about Delve, aren't you?
Yeah, just a little bit about Delve and what it is and how it works. It's something I look at regularly in my business, and both Yammer and Delve. The reason we use Yammer and Delve is I sort of come a little bit back. Those of you accountants know that Rob Nixon. Rob Nixon is an advocate of Vern Harnish and the concept of huddles and business rhythm. So what business rhythm, what was about was it was about getting people together on a regular basis to talk about what they were doing for the day and some goals and objectives they had for the day. So in our business, we use that to create that rhythm. We get everybody in the morning to say, what are they working on? What are they getting through? And it just means that you get that rhythm. And the beauty of Yammer and then Delve allows me to go and look at the documents. But the beauty of Yammer is that we're a national company, actually an internet. We're a global company.
Yep.
So it's really hard for us to get everybody together on a call to do that. And so what we do is within that we can all see what's going on, and we can see whose birthdays and who's getting engaged. We had Divi in India announce via Yammer that he was getting engaged,
Getting married, getting married.
getting married, and invited us all to his wedding. So it just creates that feel of being a bit closer than
Community. It's that feel of community, and it's extending out to this network. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is we've got different generations, and I like to think about these generations as either digital migrants, digital natives. Some of them are, some of us are digital refugees, where we've been forced into moving into a digital world. And I'm choosing to go into the digital world, but some of the digital natives have been on social networks for the last 15 years. And if we're looking at recruiting and retaining the next generation of workforce, one of the most important things is that we need to have a mature social network in play. I remember during my tenure at Microsoft, we had a global recruitment lead for Avanade come out and talk to us. And They were recruiting the best and the brightest from the universities all around the world. And the top two questions, this is going back about 3 years now, the top two questions they got asked by these best and brightest apparently leaving universities about the new workplace was, number one, what device do I get? And number two, can I use social at work? So having a corporate social policy goes a long way to easing this. So Yammer is fully...
And not wiping it out and saying you can't use it. It's sort of saying to someone, use it, but use it for good, not for evil, I suppose is the best way to describe it, isn't it?
That is.
It helps so much to get that rhythm of your business going out and all of those sort of things. I watch, my wife's just started a new job, and a group of the whole people who started working together, they haven't got Yammer, but they've jumped on Facebook and grabbed a little group together, and the communication that they're doing all the time is just amazing. And I go, that's cool, so long as it all stays positive, and everything stays, and they have some rules around that, and they really sort of frown upon anybody being negative about the business. They basically say, hey, the bosses could probably look at this at any time. So but to watch how they work and interact about shifts and what they're doing, I think, wow, how cool is that in a business where you've effectively got a group of people who've only been working there for about a month have got together and started this little communication area.
Exactly. It's a loosely connected group of people that has managed to form a digital community that is tightly knitted together. And I really believe that that's the way forward. So for those of you out there on the call, if you type in yammer.com, put in your SMTP or your email address and your Office 365 password, just select to sign in to Yammer. Your organization should have already signed up with your Office 365 environment. And then what I want you to do is I want you to be channeling everything you know about Facebook, everything you know about LinkedIn, whether you like something, whether you reply to a post. I'm not going to teach you how to do these things, guys, because they are fairly straightforward. What I'm going to show you today is a couple of tips and tricks on Yammer. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to make an announcement. So an announcement is similar to a post, but it's really need to know information that's going to be pushed into the banner of everybody's Yammer homepage, front and center, guys. This is an announcement for you. So normally you'd be sending out, what would this replace? This would replace an all-staff email. So why would this be better? Well, let's think about a situation where it's the beginning of the year and something small. Somebody's left dishes in the office kitchen. It's a classic thing, or the fridge needs to be cleaned out, something like that. We can use Yammer to make that announcement. Guys, these dishes don't wash themselves, and we can start a conversation there. The thing is, that will be an ongoing conversation, and we can bring that up again instead of just sending out email after email after email and having people reply all. So an announcement, the announcement tab, that little speaker phone, only comes up if you're a network admin. If you're not a network admin, that tab will not come up, okay? So we've got a few tabs here: update, poll, praise, and announcement. Update.
I might just quickly bring up our Yammer page, Roland. Is that okay?
Fantastic. Well, we use Yammer a lot. One of the groups we've got I like is dailies. So dailies, because we're a global organization, it lets people know where everybody is around the world. So where they are, what they're doing, what does your day hold for you? So if Trevor goes into 365 and just clicks, or any of those, and just clicks on announcement, that tab is only there because he's a global because he's a network admin. Now you can go in and choose to make an announcement in dailies, for example, saying, guys, can everybody please update dailies? Let us know what you're doing. So it's similar to an update or a post, and in the same way we can notify different groups of people or specify different groups of people. On the bottom there where you see dailies and notify specific people, if you type in somebody's name in there, it will send them an email. Much like LinkedIn, if somebody mentions you in a post, You get an email. When you go to LinkedIn, the update is there. Yes, for sure. But there's also an email that comes to you and says you were mentioned in a post. If you're getting emails from Yammer every day, multiple emails, you need to go and check your settings. See, what your settings want to be is set up a daily digest of information. There we go, sending out an announcement 10 seconds ago. Trevor's made this announcement. Okay.
And the other things that we use is praise. We praise. So if someone's done something really good, it's just a great way to do that. And for
Feedback.
the younger guys in the office, they really take it, especially if Nick or someone jumps on and goes, hey, so-and-so praise for
Awesome work.
Julian, awesome work. Well done, mate. Got some really good feedback. It just, again, it's that feeling, that great feeling and great rhythm about what's going on. I don't know, poll, Roland, what would poll be used for?
Poll's a survey. So, for example, we're going to change the coffee in the kitchen. I'll just bring the coffee in the kitchen. So, what would you guys like if we were replacing the coffee? So, much in the same way in SharePoint, you could do a survey. Yeah, you could do a quick survey and just get people to respond. So, Christmas party. Guys, we're thinking about having the Christmas party on or the Christmas festival, the holiday festival, whatever you want to call it. Coffee. What brand would you like? Exactly. So we've got the following 3 brands that we can purchase, and then everybody can vote on Yammer. So there we go.
We can do something like this. I can't. Hopefully, Meccano, whatever they said. I think that's right. Anyway, don't worry, I buy my coffee down the road.
There we go.
That's how easy it is. I can post that out, and it goes out daily. And everybody can respond, and I can say, well, I go for that one, and I vote for it.
There we go.
That's amazing. That's some really good feedback that you can get and see how everybody goes.
Well, that's it. I mean, I believe that life is one big feedback loop, You change your behavior based on feedback you get. Computer systems and machine learning change their behavior on feedback they get. So to be able to make this feedback loop using Yammer, I think is really, really good. I wanted you to get a talk about Delve, so let me jump onto the next one. Sending a private message is the next step. Posting a document before sending a private message. So again, a lot of people's inboxes are full of attachments. The attachments live and die in someone's inbox. We've got a choice. We either post it on SharePoint or we post it on Yammer. Both create a central repository of the information for us. Why would you choose Yammer over SharePoint? Yammer would be more for an announcement. It doesn't have the co-authoring and collaborative features that SharePoint's got in Yammer, but it is still a way for you to share a document out with people. So for going back to our previous example, if we made an announcement about changes to the policy around people cleaning up the kitchen, we could then post an OHS document around that. So I upload a document from my computer and post the document up to Yammer.
We also use it a bit for sales and communication on sales as well, and we're using Dynamics CRM, and often that data eventually ends up in the client folder as well. So if we're talking about a particular sale or a particular client, it goes into our CRM as well. I don't know how that works. A little bit of magic goes on, I suppose. I reckon Nick gets up to something at the back end, but that's amazing. That's a total integration of these systems all coming together, having that one product and one supplier, one provider, bringing everything together and those tools working together. It's quite amazing.
Well, this is okay. So I'll tell you, in the last 24 hours, you've just mentioned, your wife working with that Facebook group. Yesterday, I saw somebody trying to create a corporate directory on Google. And over the weekend, my wife was trying to create a corporate photo album and trying to use a third-party tool to do that. Now, those 3 things, which we've all reaching out to use third-party tools to do and create another user account and sign-on, which is just going to add complexity to our lives, could have all been done in either SharePoint or Yammer.
Yeah.
And the tools are there. We're paying for it. It's integrated. I mean, did Trevor have to log on when he went to Yammer just now? No, because it's fully integrated with Office 365.
Yeah, once I log in for the day, I'm in.
You're in. You're golden. So posting a document, guys, and again, just to reiterate, I would post a document in Yammer instead of SharePoint when it was more of an announcement type document that I didn't want people to co-author and collaborate. This presentation, for example, everybody needed to make the updates to this presentation, so this was put on a SharePoint site so everybody could add their own little bit. Wouldn't have been ideal to do that in a Yammer environment, but so that's really the decision point, when to go Yammer, when to go SharePoint. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is sending a message to an individual. Now, there is a bit of an overlap here between sending a message in Outlook and sending a message in Yammer, but in the same way, when you send a message to somebody, not a post, guys, a post goes to everybody, a private message will just go to an individual, okay? So this is not a post to a group, it's sending a private message just to an individual, and they'll receive an email around that.
In our business, because we use Skype for Business so much, we tend to use that for private messages.
Definitely.
Roland, so we also attach documents between each other, and we talk to each other via Skype.
In the interest of full disclosure, I do not send private messages a lot within Yammer. I am a Skype for Business guy. Yeah. But I believe we're going to have some Skype for Business sessions coming up later on.
So we're going to get more into that later on, and we'll keep going through from there. So this is the last slide.
Well, the last few ones. Delve. So working like a network, we said this session could have been titled Working Like a Network. What happens is, Trev, do you want to talk about Delve? Because this is really early days of some machine learning, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's so for those of you who don't know where Delve is, Delve with your Office 365 account, you log into your account and click on the Office 365 honeycomb. So I might just bring up my screen again, just so you can see this. So I'll just bring it back up.
Yeah, but this is delving into what's happening in your business. If we're working from anywhere and people are not sitting next to us, how do we know what they've been working on? Well, what we'll do with Delve is Delve will use machine learning and some algorithms to tell us the people in our team, our network, when we're working like a network, what have those people all been working on? So, for example, some of the things we're working on this morning, there's a PowerPoint, what you don't know, modified by Roland Leggat this morning. We've got David Hamilton modifying the
MSF model. And these are documents, and Nick and I were having a really big discussion about this machine learning, and yesterday about, how does it work? And he goes, Trevor, don't even try. And the data scientist is even not going to be able to understand how it's going to work. And I said, well, Nick, we're dealing with accountants. We've got accountants who are going to want to audit this and work out how the hell these documents are. It's working out which documents you want to do. But strangely enough, these are documents that I'm interested in, and I want to know, oh yeah, Dave, you've done that Canon PO report. I want to know that that's all happening. And it's again, often he'll tell me, often you'll see it and all of those sort of things. But again, it's that rhythm. I can sort of see, I can have a look at it. Nick says he looks at it twice a day, and it just gives him that peace of mind. Oh, cool, Trevor's done that. I don't have to ring up and hassle and all of those sort of things. That's being done, and we can keep on working our way through it. So, how I started asking those questions. How does it? And he goes, Trevor, don't even ask.
Smarts behind it is the algorithms that allow you to find out who is in your network, what's trending around me. And you guys know this. You got a trending, and it tells you what is more active. Now, the caveat, of course, is all these things that we're using machine learning and algorithms to try and tell you what's happening, all these documents need to be stored in the cloud. If you're storing your stuff on your C drive, this is not going to help Delve, folks. Not at all. Delve can't reach out of the cloud into your machine and look at what you're storing on your C drive. So you want to be posting these documents up in SharePoint. You want to be having conversations using Skype. You want to be sending emails with Outlook. And Delve will be able to pull all of that information together and give you a single pane of glass showing you what's been going on within your organization.
Yeah, which is, and for me, look, you saw my screen there, and it really is stuff that I have been working on. For me, to you, to everybody else looking at it, probably makes no sense. But to me, looking at what it is, I go, cool, there are all the things that I've been working and thinking about, and it's gone and picked all that up. And it's amazing, as you said, Skype for Business, SharePoint, all of those sort of things. It picks up those areas that are in that I've been working on, with everybody else. So as it says there, it helps you discover the most interesting things to you right now. And Nick described it to me. He said, it's like having the best PA you could ever have, who knows exactly what you've been doing, all your appointments and everything like that, and it's able to give you that information and say, hey, Trev, here's all the documents you're going to be interested in looking at, and what's been going on around you, which is, it's absolutely fantastic, and gives you that rhythm again and that feedback. It's a bit like what we looked at last week. So I said last week's session, I was looking at the news section of Microsoft, the news feeds, where I've started to put my favorites of what I'm interested in the news. And I've only been using it for 2 weeks. And I said to Nick, I'm just astounded at the reports and the articles that I'm getting that I'm interested in, that I probably never would have seen before, has just blown me away this week. And I'm just going, oh, wow. It's just changed my knowledge on what things I'm interested in.
Well, like I said in the beginning, I'm a big advocate of LinkedIn, and there's certain people that I follow. Sinofsky, there's a couple of people who I just think are amazingly smart, and some of the stuff they share, I learn all the time. And this new way of work is not about competing with other people, and knowledge is power. It's about collaborating and sharing with other people. And Delve is one of the tools that allows you to see what other people are doing. I think of some of our team who are over in South America. We've got India, we've got the Philippines. The people, most of our team are in Australia, but the people around the world, I can see what they've been working on. When I wake up in the morning, the guys in Brazil are going to bed. We're waking up, but we can see what Lawrence and his team over there have been working on for the last while.
Yep. And that's what I do the same thing. It's open up Yammer. It's that push through. Like you've got to really drive it though. Those sort of things, especially Yammer. You've got to really put into the business. Nick threatens the team if we don't continue to use Yammer and put our posts on there about what we're doing. We're going to go back to our daily huddles and getting together on every day and booking out 30 minutes at 7:30 in the morning to get together and talk about what we're doing. So
I much prefer the posting on dailies if that's all the same with you.
And so do all the guys. They appreciate it, but we still ring each other, we still talk to each other. It doesn't mean that we stop any of that. It just means that if you are busy for the day, everybody knows. We know Nick is flat out today and he's in meetings, so I'm not going to go and try and ring him and catch up with him because I know he's in meetings all day. So. That's what we do. That's how we operate.
Fantastic. So, guys, what we're trying to do here, we've shown you 2 new tools today, and these tools are to augment your existing communication modalities. They are not to replace email. They're not to replace Skype. When you're looking at communicating with somebody, it's best to think what mode of communication is best for this interaction. And in some cases, that could be something like Yammer. And Delve also allows you, without having to talk to somebody, to see where they're at with particular workloads. And you can see what people have been doing around the world. And you might think, oh, Delve sounds a little bit Big Brother-esque, but it doesn't change any of your permissions. You can't see private documents of other people, and you can edit your profile within Delve, much like you do in Yammer. One thing I would say, put a photograph up of yourself in Yammer in Office 365 so all your colleagues know what you look like. And, you bump into people. During my days at Microsoft, there were so many staff, we would bump into people and you'd be like, James, and you think, I've never met you before, but we've been chatting online and I know what you look like. So
we've nearly got everybody done. We've still got Tristan and Lawrence to get sorted out. They've still got not a proper photo of them.
I think Lawrence has got a chipmunk or something, hasn't he?
A polar bear, and I don't know what they've all got little stories, these little techies, about how they came up with their things. That was a bit of fun earlier on, and as our business starts to expand, we've got to sort of get a little bit more grown up, I suppose, is what we've got to do. So we're just to wind up
Yes.
today. I'll leave you with this, and because we started to talk about Vern Harnish and gazelles and lions, I won't read the whole thing out, but effectively it is, every morning a lion's got to get up, he's got to outrun, the gazelle's got to get up and outrun the lion, or he'll be killed. And the same with the lion, he's got to catch the gazelle. So it doesn't matter whether you're going to be a lion or a gazelle, you got to get up early in the morning, get your yammer post on so that Nick doesn't chase you down or something like that. But I always love that motto. And when I think about these huddles and Vern Harnish, I always think about these models, this little motto that came up that they work behind. In actual fact, I think Vern Harnish's company is called Gazelle, so he's taken it to the next level. So next week, thank you so much, everybody, for attending today. Roland and I, we believe this year we've kicked it off, we've trialed it, we've had some awesome feedback last week from one of our listeners who started work early than most, and she gave us some fantastic feedback, and that's why we've taken this. I think this has been a great session, giving lots of information. This information, the podcast itself, is going to be on our website today or tomorrow. We're getting better at getting these podcasts remixed and getting them put out there. We're also going to have a copy of this presentation so that you can share it with your team as well. It's about collaboration and grabbing those things so you can share it with your team. And we're also going to have copies and links of documents that you can use to learn and understand how to use both these documents better. So go to that page. Next week, Roland, is huge. We're going to get Tristan, our head of support, our guru on SharePoint, is going to be joining us to talk to us about when and how to use OneDrive and SharePoint, the new features that have just been coming out in the last few months and weeks, especially the Open with Explorer functionalities, and how you can start to use SharePoint more than you use OneDrive. So if anybody's on the call, I really strongly suggest you attend next week's session. It's going to be amazing. I've already done a bit of a run through with Tristan, and he blew me away. I was absolutely shocked on how much more you can use SharePoint than I have even been using before. So it's changing the way that I'm going to be training people going forward. So get your team onto this session because it's going to be extremely powerful to really see how you can use this and get rid of. There are a lot of niggles and griggles things with OneDrive at the moment that people are coming back with, and we're sort of finding people are using it too much. I'm a culprit of that. I've been using OneDrive way too much, and where I should have been using SharePoint. So get on that.
Get on it next week, guys. Just think about it in these terms. If you're investing half an hour in your personal development and in skills acquisition around technology, it will allow you to be that gazelle or be that lion, whatever it is that your residual self-image, whether it's a gazelle or a lion. I would like you to embrace that. Next week, if you enjoyed this session, forward the invite to people within your team. Let's get to use OneDrive. Let's start to collaborate and co-author stuff together. Do the same on SharePoint. And really, let's start using those tools in the manner that they were designed to be used. And Trev, that's all from me.
That's it, guys, and thanks again. We've called it You Don't Know What You Don't Know. It's about things that I'm learning and Roland and the guys from our team are getting to me. If you've got things that you want us to sort of topics that you'd like to cover, please send us a note, and we're more than happy to consider that and get those things going. So thanks again. We're going to close the session off now and catch you all next week.
Catch you all next week, everyone. Thanks very much.
Thank you.